Did you know that ornamental trees have a rich history? Ornamental tree planting can be traced back to circa 2000 BCE in ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia, where trees like sycamore figs and date palms were planted in palace gardens purely for aesthetic and symbolic value rather than for food. In ancient China, ornamental landscapes were already highly developed by the Zhou dynasty, 1046 to 256 BCE, where trees were arranged to represent harmony between humans and nature, a principle that's still central to East Asian garden design today. Japanese cherry blossom trees, sakura, are a classic example of trees planted for a brief but intense seasonal moment. The beautiful tradition of hanami, flower viewing, dates back to the Nara period, 710 to 794 CE. Occurring from late March to early May, this 2-week celebration represents the appreciation of life's fleeting beauty, often involving food, drinks, and socializing. Sakura trees may be replanted every few decades, even if the tree could last for many years more, so that the blossom density remains visually consistent, demonstrating the significant ornamental value of the tree. After complaints about fallen fruit and pollen, many cities began planting sterile cultivars in the mid to late 20th century. Therefore, some of the most healthy-looking and ecologically beneficial trees may actually be more often found in parks and arboretums, such as this Cedars Park in Cheshunt, Hertfordshire. In the 1960s to the 1980s, parts of the United States, Japan, and Europe widely planted male ginkgo trees to urban areas to avoid the strong-smelling fruit produced by the female trees. However, this aesthetic decision had unintended ecological consequences. The male trees released more allergenic pollen, and without female trees nearby to trap it, the residents around there were affected by the high pollen environment. And many of the planted male trees were clones as well, reducing the genetic diversity and increasing the risk of disease or pest infestation. During the 17th century, French formal gardens treated trees as part of the architecture. At the Palace of Versailles, trees were planted in straight rows to create forced perspective, making paths appear longer and grander than they actually are. Also, many ornamental trees have been cultivated by humans and don't actually exist in the wild. For example, numerous cherry blossom varieties were hybridized in Japan during the Edo period, 1603 to 1868, in order to maximize flower size at the expense of the fruit production. Those trees are effectively living sculptures, designed for appearance rather than ecological function. And the famous designer Capability Brown famously planted trees to hide and reveal views as visitors moved through the landscape, which is a technique strikingly similar to cinematic blocking. This is the importance of ornamental trees and the beautiful history behind them, and why you should always respect the trees planted in your local area. Thank you for listening.